This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Welcome to the Junkyard News channel.
Detroit Police Department's most troubled officers. Sergeant Stephen Q.'s alarming history of misconduct.
Do me a favor, take a moment, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment because it really helps the video.
Their officers were going out and violating the Constitution, violating their own internal policies and procedures, and it was unchecked.
And with that, look what I got for you today.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Junkyard News. Today's story and video involves the Untouchable Cop, a story of misconduct, accountability, and an officer who seems to keep writing checks that his body can't cash.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
Now in every profession there are people who try to uphold values and integrity, honor, and service to the public. But what happens when those entrusted with protecting the public abuse their power?
Among Detroit's most troubled police officers, few compare to Stephen Q. As we first revealed more than 2 years ago, the Detroit police officer has been accused repeatedly of excessive force, found to have used the N-word, and amassed 85 complaints from citizens who said he terrorized communities of color.
I'd like you to meet the city of Detroit's very own Sergeant Stephen Q. Now, Sergeant Stephen Q is a troubled police officer who amassed an astonishing history of misconduct, but was seldom disciplined, and in fact, to this day, still has not been fired. Now, Sergeant Q, a veteran of the force, has a long history of complaints and allegations of misconduct, and despite numerous incidents, he remains on the job, seemingly untouchable.
He a gangster with a badge. I ain't never seen no evil like that.
The cost to taxpayers is easy to count. With the latest settlement paid out in December, lawsuits where Q was a defendant have cost the city nearly $3 million.
Although I will add, he has been placed on desk duty, separating Sergeant Q from his employment as a public service employee seems to be more than the city can handle. Now recently, the city of Detroit agreed to pay $2 million to settle a lawsuit filed against Sergeant Stephen Q. It marks at least the 9th lawsuit filed against Q since he joined the department as a full-time officer. This most recent settlement stems from a lawsuit filed by Mark Gaddis, who Q shot in 2017 following a raid at his aunt's house. Q would later say that he opened fire only after Gaddis pointed a gun at him, although witnesses on scene claimed that he did not have a firearm. Now, police did, after the shooting and during the investigation, locate a firearm, but DNA results on the handgun could find no evidence that Gaddis ever held the gun. This may be another example of a drop gun, where in a dirty shoot, all of a sudden a mysterious firearm that can't be traced to the victim of the shooting mysteriously appears during the investigation into the shooting.
In December, the city paid its biggest check yet, $2 million to Mark Gaddis. He sued the department after Q shot him following a police raid at his aunt's house in 2017. Q said he shot Gaddis because he pointed a gun at him. Another officer supported his account, and police recovered a gun. After being shot, Gaddis was hospitalized.
I woke up in the room. They just kept trying to make me say I had a gun, and just trying to force me to say, you know.
But witnesses said Gaddis had no gun, that he was running away from Q. The firearm recovered by officers didn't have enough DNA to determine if anyone had touched it. Gaddis was charged with 11 felonies and acquitted of all of them.
Now, in a statement to news agencies, it is said this was a cover-up of a shooting of an unarmed man. Now, among Detroit's most troubled police officers, few compare to Sergeant Q. Now, it was revealed by news agencies back in 2021, the Detroit police officer has been accused repeatedly of excessive force, found to have used the N-word and amassed 85 complaints from citizens who said he terrorized communities of color. Now, Koo was removed from street patrols and placed on desk duty, and he did not return calls or texts for comments on the city's most recent settlement. And despite an alarming amount of complaints and documented wrongdoing, Koo was seldom disciplined. Before Koo was a sergeant, and he had amassed a massive amount of complaints, he eventually was still promoted, even after being found to have lied in cases. There's been other officers in Detroit that have been found to have strangled women, left bruises on children, and used racist language, and yet they remain on DPD's force, along with Sergeant Stephen Koo.
Instead of being terminated, even after being found to have lied,
now I'd like to make a motion to approve the promotions to the rank of sergeant.
Koo was promoted.
This could not have gone on without people at every level or members at every level being complicit.
Indeed, over the last 2 years, our reporting has revealed officers who stayed on the force after being found to have strangled women, left bruises on children, or used racist language. They remained at DPD, along with Stephen Koo.
They've taken no steps to remedy the underlying problems that are ongoing within the department.
Now, cases like this do highlight systemic issues within law enforcement agencies. Without transparency, accountability, and meaningful oversight, bad actors can and will continue to abuse their authority with impunity. It's time for change, it's time for accountability, and it's time for action. Fire Sergeant Koo. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching this episode of the Junkyard News. If you think Sergeant Koo deserves to be in the unemployment line, please comment below. What do you think about the city paying $2 million in this recent lawsuit, as well as the $825,000 that the city has had to pay for past lawsuits? Almost $3 million of taxpayer-funded money dished out to victims of police violence in Detroit. Once again, thank you for watching this episode of the Junkyard News, and we'll see you in the next video. Videos uploaded by the Junkyard News are helped in part by viewers just like you. You can show your support for this channel by clicking the thumbs up, sharing our videos, or hitting that all-important support button on our channel page. Don't want to miss a video or a story? Make sure to check us out and like us on Facebook at The Junkyard News.